You see them everywhere. That iconic Louis Vuitton pattern, the signature blue box from Tiffany Co, a bottle of Dom Perignon, the glowing aisles of Sephora. You probably think you're looking at a world of fierce competitors, a vibrant market of distinct luxury houses, each with its own unique story. You're not. You're looking at an empire, a carefully constructed universe of desire and power, all controlled by one man. A man who, despite being one of the richest people on the planet, you might not even know by name. This is the story of how Bernard Arnault built the LVMH empire and created a system that connects nearly every luxury brand you've ever coveted. The man behind the empire. To understand the empire, you have to understand the emperor. Bernard Arnault wasn't born into the world of Parisian high fashion. He came from the industrial north of France, the son of a man who ran a successful civil engineering company. He studied engineering and mathematics at the prestigious École Polytechnique. After graduating, he went to work for his father's construction firm. But Arnault was different. He didn't see concrete and steel. He saw assets and leverage. A trip to the United States in the early 80s was a revelation. He saw the swashbuckling American style of corporate raiding and realized you could use a company's own value to take it over. That idea, combined with his sharp analytical mind, was about to be unleashed on the sleepy, family-run world of European luxury. It was an industry built on dreams, and Arnault, the engineer, saw a system just waiting to be conquered. The first move, the wolf in Cashmere. Arnault's foray into luxury started in 1984. He heard that a textile conglomerate named Boussac Saint Frère had gone bankrupt. The company was mostly a mess of failing businesses, but buried inside was one tarnished jewel, the legendary fashion house of Christian Dior. Arnault's own mother revered Dior, and he saw his chance. He put up a reported $15 million from his family's business and, with the backing of investment banks, bought the entire Boussac group. Everyone thought he was buying a textile company, but he was only ever after Dior. In just a couple of years, he streamlined the company with brutal efficiency, reportedly laying off 9,000 workers and selling off the textile assets for what some sources claim was $500 million. He kept Christian Dior, and in the process recouped most of his investment. The French business world was stunned. They expected a quiet industrialist. They got a ruthless deal maker. A nickname started to circulate that would follow him for the rest of his career: the Wolf in Cashmere. He had his first luxury brand, and now he had a playbook, forging an empire, the battle for LVMH. In 1987, a new luxury giant was formed, LVMH, a merger between the iconic trunk maker Louis Vuitton and the powerful wine and spirits group Moet Hennessy. The merger was meant to be defensive, to create a champion strong enough to fend off raiders like Arnault. But the alliance was fragile. The families behind Vuitton and Moet deeply distrusted each other, and a bitter power struggle erupted almost immediately. Arnault saw the conflict and smelled blood. He was invited in as an investor by Louis Vuitton's chairman, who hoped to use him as an ally. Instead, Arnault began playing both sides. He formed a joint venture with the British drinks group Guinness and quietly started buying up LVMH shares. The founding families were so busy fighting each other, they didn't see the wolf at the door. By 1989, Arnault had spent over $1 billion to become the company's largest shareholder, with reports citing he controlled roughly 43.5% of the stock. He staged a boardroom coup, ousting both family heads. After a storm of legal battles, the engineer from Roubaix was the undisputed chairman and CEO of LVMH. He hadn't founded the company, but he had conquered it. Now, the real work could begin. Before we get into how Arnault actually runs this empire, if you're watching this on your TV right now, pause the video, grab your remote, and navigate to the subscribe button on the left side of your screen. We cover the hidden strategies behind the world's most powerful dynasties and companies, exactly like this. Go ahead and subscribe, then come right back, because this next part is where it gets really interesting. The Arnault Playbook, a system for dominance. What Arnault has built since isn't just a collection of brands. It's a system for turning heritage into profit. This is the Arnault Playbook. First, hunt for heritage. Arnault targets brands with powerful histories, sleeping beauties that are often struggling with poor management. He bought French houses like Celine and Givenchy, Italian icons like Fendi, and the German luggage maker Rimowa. He understood that a brand's story was an asset far more valuable than its current balance sheet. Second, let the artists create. Unlike a typical corporate monolith, Arnault doesn't force a single identity on his brands. Each maison, as LVMH calls them, is run independently with its own creative director. This preserves the unique soul of each brand, which is exactly what makes them desirable. Third, centralize everything else. While creativity is free, the business side is ruthlessly centralized. Arnault's team in Paris keeps a tight grip on finances, real estate, and strategy. This gives the maison the muscle of a global giant, while they focus on creating beautiful things. Fourth, engineer desire. Arnault knows luxury isn't about selling products. It's about selling a dream. A key part of the playbook is managing scarcity. LVMH fiercely controls its own distribution and prioritizes its own stores, where it manages the price, the presentation, and the entire experience. You almost never see a Louis Vuitton bag on sale. That's not a mistake, it's a core strategy. They treat desire itself as an asset to be managed and grown. Case study, the Conquest of Tiffany Co. Nowhere was this playbook clearer than with Tiffany Co. In 2019, LVMH announced it would buy the American jeweler for a staggering $16.2 billion, the biggest deal in luxury history. Then the pandemic hit. Arnault immediately tried to back out, citing Tiffany's poor performance and even a supposed request from the French government. Tiffany sued to force the deal through. It was a high-stakes corporate brawl played out in public. But many analysts believe Arnault was just executing his playbook, creating leverage to get a better price. And it worked. In the end, LVMH agreed to buy Tiffany for a reduced price of $15.8 billion, saving the empire over $400 million. It was a masterclass in negotiation. With Tiffany, LVMH didn't just buy a brand. It conquered the American jewelry market, the scale of the empire today. Today, the LVMH empire is a colossus. It's a constellation of around 75 maisons that span every corner of the luxury world. In fashion and leather, it's not just Louis Vuitton and Dior, it's also Fendi, Loro Piana, Givenchy, Celine, and Marc Jacobs. In watches and jewelry, it's Tiffany Co, but also Bulgari, Tag Heuer, and Hublot. In perfumes and cosmetics, it owns Parfums Christian Dior, Guerlain, and the retail giant Sephora. And in wines and spirits, its portfolio is legendary: Moet and Chandon, Dom Pérignon, Veuve Clicquot, and Hennessy. This massive diversification is the empire's greatest strength. When one sector struggles, another thrives. It's a resilient machine that has made LVMH the largest luxury goods group in the world, and at times, the most valuable company in all of Europe. The future of the empire. At 77 years old, Bernard Arnault still sits firmly on the throne of his empire, having extended the age limit for his own CEO role. All 5 of his children hold senior positions within LVMH, fueling constant speculation about a real-life succession drama. The ultimate question is whether this empire, built so precisely in its founder's image, can keep its magic without him. Can a committee ever replicate the vision and iron will of a single, obsessive engineer of luxury? For now, the empire stands as a testament to one man's belief that the world's most romantic products can be built with the cold, hard logic of a conqueror. What do you think of Arnault's methods? And which of the 75 LVMH brands is your favorite? Let us know in the comments below. If you made it this far, this channel was made for you. We cover the empires, the dynasties, and the ruthless strategies behind the world's most powerful names. And there's a lot more where this came from. If you're on your TV right now, pause the video and hit the subscribe button on the left side of your screen. Don't wait for the next video to start, because once it does, you might not find your way back.